Hello everybody, this is Nerdy Geeky, and today we are back in MINEGLADE for another episode. And guys, 1.14 is out. 1.14 is finally out. It's a bit bittersweet. If you watched the last episode, you will know why, and that is because over there, that's my iron farm. I built another one, guys. Let's go straight over there. I built another one on top of this iron farm, and they don't work anymore. Villager mechanics have changed. As you can see here, they are trying to breed. So see the hearts? And then you'll see their steam because they can't breed. And the reason why is, villages aren't based on how many doors there are anymore. They're based on how many beds there are. There needs to be beds, there needs to be a workstation, as far as I know. And preferably a bell, which is classed as a meeting place. So this is my villager breeder. I've done some work on it. We got a villager baby here. I really like the desert clothes. The desert clothes look really cool. I've put this box here because these are no longer farmers. This is not what farmers look like. This is what a villager looks like without a job. And it hasn't chosen to have a job yet. So I put one of these around because I got a feeling, actually, that you might need one each. So that is a composter. You can make bone meal with that, but because I've got my mob farm, which, as far as I know, is still working, it should still work. It shouldn't be a problem. Then, basically, you can choose which jobs they have. I might actually put a few more of these around, and I might put them here instead, where they've got access to them, but they're kind of in the wall. So we might look at that later, but that's not what I want to do today. I need iron. I didn't really want to do 2 iron farm episodes in a row, but I really do need iron, and basically what's going to have to happen in this episode is I need to take these iron farms down. And, sorry, there's flies everywhere. One just landed on me. Scared the crap out of me. I need... so I'm going to leave these guys here, like, in their little chambers. I'm going to make the iron farm, or at least the holding cell for... or the holding cell, it sounds terrible. The holding area for the villagers. I'm going to move them into the holding area, and then I'm going to start building the iron farm around them. I'm going to mostly do that off camera, and I'll just give you updates as we go along, because you don't need to see that. So let's talk about how the mechanics work. Now, this is what I've been doing all evening, looking at the mechanics. Okay, we'll talk about the mechanics, but I also want to talk about a few of the extra things that I really like from this update, like lanterns. These look way better than torches. It's basically a torch and then 8 iron nuggets around it. So they're a little bit expensive to make, but with an iron farm, it won't be a problem. But look, this looks way better. I went maybe a bit OTT. Ooh. They make a really nice sound as well. I may have gone a bit OTT with them, but I think they look great, and you can just sit them on top of barrels, which still work as chests. So barrels work as chests. That's great. I love having a diverse, diverse array of like holding things. So now we've got shulkers, and we've got chests, and we've got barrels. So I like that. I like that a lot. Sand texture. I really like the sand texture. It's really nice. And yes, we do have smooth sand now, all smooth sandstone there. This texture is nice, and this is what I'll be building the iron farms out of instead of this. So this is like the smooth stone to cobblestone kind of difference. And that's another thing. We've got smooth stone blocks now, not just regular stone. And this is a little bit cleaner. Sorry, there's Optifine. The new Optifine's not out yet, so it's probably going to be just a bit more laggy than it usually is. So we got some new boxes. That doesn't do anything. This is a cartographer's box. And we've got... I'll go upstairs in a minute and show you. But you'll be able to see videos on this. There you go. That's what stone looks like now. And this is the... yeah, this is a really nice texture for smooth stone. That's how you get smooth stone slabs. But you can get half slabs of this now as well, which I haven't made any yet. Let's just make some now. That happens every time I come in here now. Let's just make. Yep. So there you go. That's what they're... Oh, grindstone. Nice. wonder how you make that then. Let's have a look. Is it yes, it is called grindstone. Okay, yep, that's cool. I'm not actually 100% on what everything does still. Ooh, that's a lot of stone. So I need to look at that. I've mostly been looking at the villager stuff today because, yeah, really annoying. That they've changed it quite radically. I've never made so many beds in my life, and I will be making a lot more because each iron farm is going to need about 12. And it should work. I've been spending the evening designing a new iron farm based on a couple of videos I've watched. I may link a video in the description below, I may not, because there's so many and I've kind of pulled from a lot of resources. There's one particular one that I'm probably going to kind of follow. I can't remember the guy's name, sorry. But I think I will put that one in the description below. I've been waffling on now for like 6 minutes. So I think we need to start building. Oh, before that, I've not been waffling on. I guess we've been looking at stuff. Yeah, furnaces, great. Blast furnaces, fantastic. They smelt ore faster and minerals and stuff like that. And then we got a smoker, and that cooks food faster. So absolutely fantastic. I haven't used these yet because I haven't been strip mining or anything. So, but look at these. These look way better than the torches before. The way they hang from the ceiling as well. Love it. I love this, even though it broke my iron farms that I literally had for a day. It is a great update. They've done such a fantastic job on it. This is an out-of-date village now, which is kind of annoying because it doesn't have... Oh, this is what happens when you don't have Optifine. I do not want to fall through the wood. There we go. We're going to update on me. So, yeah. Oh, glass, I forgot to say. The glass texture is so much better. So, yes. This village doesn't have this village does not have a bell. And I've designed an iron farm that doesn't need a bell, but I don't know if the bell ups the efficiency or not. But you can buy bells off certain level armorers, weaponsmiths, and stuff like that. So anybody that uses a certain toolbox, you can buy bells off them. They're a little bit expensive, but if I really need one, I will buy one. So down there, I might start putting the different stations so we get lots of different villagers to trade with, and then we can make a trading hall eventually. And I'd love to make a little trading hall. But I think it's time to get started now because we're already 8 minutes into this episode. So those are the main things that I really, really like from this expansion. Crossbows are really fun, and earlier, typical because I wasn't recording, earlier I had an Illager raid. It was really fun. It was kind of like a little bit of a western because if it works on beds, this is the only valid village. Well, this was the only valid village. And I'm hoping to get another one on camera again at some point. But basically, they ran in here, they ran down here, they ran in here, and they sort of took up stations like on the roofs and behind the pillars and stuff like that. And it was kind of like a western, like I walked down here, and they're just everywhere shooting arrows. It was really fun. Love that mechanic. I love the event. This I'm going to change a little bit. So, yeah, we're going to redesign. I actually put the smooth steps here, and they were too smooth. Like, it didn't feel right. So I put the normal ones back. I think the texture does help here, but I want to build with a lot more smooth stone. So I'm going to get started, and like I said, I'll just update you as I go. And then we'll see how we're doing at the end. I'll obviously only build one at first, make sure that it's working. It should work, and the villagers should breed because it's working on my test realm. So let's get started. Let's sleep, and then let's get started. Hey folks, I'm back, and I kind of got into the swing of building, so I just built the entire thing. And here it is. I may as well not wait and just show you. So this is what it looks like now. This is what an iron farm will probably look like. You'll probably see variants of this. This is where my old iron farm was. So I built the whole thing, so I kind of just wanted to go through what I've learned about the villager mechanics, the new mechanics, because this is very different to both different in some ways and the same in other ways. So you still got your 8 blocks of water that go down, you got your 2 levels, but this bit in the middle, so instead of Instead of the villagers being at the side, we have them in the middle now. And there's a lot of villagers here because I moved all the ones from the side into the middle. And there's a couple of things that you need. So, it's a bit laggy. And there's a lot of bugs, which is kind of really annoying me at the moment. Especially the infamous lighting bug. But I'll get onto that in a minute. So, thought I heard a cat there. There's a cat around somewhere. So, what you can see here is, you can see they're standing on beds, and in the middle, there's a bell. And that bell is absolutely necessary, because that bell is where they meet to gossip. And the gossip, the gossip is basically, there's 3 different things. There's 2 about you, which is, he traded and we like him, or her. And there is, they hurt us, we don't like them. So, and that makes prices go up and down respectively. Now, there is also a 3rd gossip, which is, oh, we don't have an iron golem, there's enough of us, we need an iron golem. And that's what you want. And apparently that has to get to a certain level, and then you get golems spawning. It is at that level now. I do get golems spawning, so that's fantastic. But you also need these crafting boxes. These are cheap to make, these particular ones, so I've been using the composters, and they effectively make villagers that don't have a job. They will turn into farmers. So it's really good because you can decide what you want your villagers to be as well. So if you just want librarians because you want to get enchants, then you need to make a lectern or multiple lecterns and put them in your village, and then you'll only get librarians and the odd nitwit. So I think that's what these are here. See the green shoulder pads. So that's a really good way of controlling your village, controlling what your villagers are becoming. I've just done farmers for now because it's easier. I've thrown in, they've already got some carrots they've been throwing around and breeding. There's something I haven't seen on tutorials is more beds. So the tutorials I've seen have beds inside. I've put beds on the outside as well, and it seems to work. It seems to accommodate further breeding. So there's 12 beds down there and 12 beds up here, and they fit really well. Yeah, okay, they might look a bit unsightly, but it works. And they seem to be able to, even though they can't get to them, they can detect them, that they're valid beds, and that means they can have a bigger village. Also means more iron golems will spawn. So if I go down here, this I think is actually a valid, so there's 27 beds, and I've just put as many as these. I did put a few of the smithing tables. You can't do anything with the smithing tables yourself, but you can make the odd smith. He doesn't have a job because he doesn't have a hat or a belt or anything like that. Probably don't need the golem now, but I'll leave him there. And you don't need doors anymore, or villagers down there, but he's not harming anyone being down there. Oh, it's so noisy. But this, they have been breeding like mad. Which is fantastic. I've got all those villagers now to pump into other farms or something like that. So, I want to build another 2 of these modules. And the great thing about that, like the old iron farms, is you don't need the extra killing zone. You only need 1 killing zone. And I'll show you the killing zone now, because it is a little bit different because of the size difference. So they fall down, and they fall down here. Oh, that was close. And what they can do is, they can either fall straight into the lava, or they can fall down here and be pushed into the lava. And below there, obviously, is your usual collecting system. So, again, it's different, but kind of the same at the same time. So, it's familiar. And basically, all you got to do is build this middle bit in the 2 floors. And you just, as long as you align them, you just get them dropping down here as well. I've tested that on my test world, and it does work, as long as you've got a bell in the middle. Now, you might be wondering about the bell. The bell are new, and any new village that you come across will have a bell in the centre of the village, or around about the centre of the village, which is a meeting place. And every evening, the villagers will... Oh, there we go. We've got an iron golem going through. Let's just show you down here. And there he is, burning. Oh, I think there's 2, actually. And I've only had this set up for maybe... not even an hour playtime, really, because I've been on and off. I've been in different areas, fixing my stuff, and look how much. I probably put about 30 into the system myself, so we've got over a stack. We got nearly a stack and a half, close to, or a stack and a quarter, and probably less than an hour. So it works really well. I'd actually say that it probably works a little bit better than the old ones, actually. So it's a good idea to get a new iron farm set up ASAP. It took a lot more materials, but at the end of the day, I'm using sandstone. It's sand. The only thing is, because I've used the new smooth sandstone blocks, I had to cook sandstone. So that sandstone, by the way, you have to cook that one. But yeah, not a problem. Bit of cooking, bit of thing in there. That's not an issue. But anyway, bells. You might be wondering about bells. So you can either go and take one from villages, which you can do, but that's very long-winded to find villages. Or you can buy them from smiths. Any smith, weaponsmith, armor smith, anything like that. Toolsmith, I think, as well. I got a toolsmith here. He's in there somewhere, and I've been trading with him. It takes 10 trades to level him up to his 2nd level, and they do have an XP bar now. I wonder if I can show you, actually. So there's the XP bar. This is a farmer. This is another farmer. He's a nitwit, so I don't think he has anything. Anyway, so once you've traded 10 times, they will get more trades because they'll level up. And it's worth just, like, moving off, going back on, because the more light you are, the cheaper the prices will become. So at first the bell was like 32 emeralds instead of 36, and then it was 16, and then it was like 6, and then it went down to 1. So there is a guy in there who will sell me a bell now for 1 emerald, which is fantastic, obviously. So I would say that if you're going to make an iron farm, or you've got an iron farm and you've got villagers, put some smithing tables down, get a smith, or a couple of smiths, and just start. It's a stray villager over there. Just start buying them with emeralds, because you've got to trade to get emeralds anyway. And that gets you trading up and all that. So that's not an issue. Let's sleep. So a bit of a talky episode this time, and maybe a bit shorter. Like I said, I want to build another 2 of them, but I need a lot. It takes a lot of material to build one, like stone or sand or whatever you want. But I'm nearly there, as you can see. I'm nearly there. It takes, I think, at least a full shulker box of smooth sandstone to make one of them, and then obviously like half slabs and stuff like that. So. And I will warn you, there are 2 half slabs. There are smooth half slabs, which are, again, exactly what they're like. They are just smooth sandstone cut in half. And then there are, what's it called? Because I'm using them. Cut sandstone slabs. So these are cut sandstone. So it's basically like 2 halves of this. You get a bottom half and a top half. If you lay them down, you basically see the top half. Let me show you what I mean. So there's the bottom half, and if you come here. If you put one up there, there's the top half. So if you put them together, they look like those. I like these. So I like these a lot, actually. I prefer them, I think, but they're not. Neither of them are bad. And I really, really like the new textures that they've brought in. So I've been having to play around with that. So yeah, the villagers, really interesting mechanics. Very RPG-like, very like reputation-based. So obviously if you hurt a villager, the prices will go up because they don't like you. They will gossip about you and they won't like you. So really interesting. Beds, put the beds on top. I pulled from a lot of sources to make this. So I don't know. I might link the one guy's video. I can't remember his name, sorry, in the description below. I think I will. He has very few followers, and he makes really good videos, and he deserves more followers than he has. I think he might even have less subscribers than me. I'm not sure, which is really saying a lot because I don't have many. And not a lot of people watch my videos. So I think he deserves a lot more, and he nailed this. This is based on his design, but I've modified it for my own liking. And I've added the beds at the top, and I think that's a good idea. I think it might. It's not the most efficient, and there's people like DocM77 who makes a really, really efficient one with lots of villagers, and you know, people like that. And it's worth checking them out as well. It's worth having a look around and a read. I read up on Reddit. I read up on a lot of places, but this is working now. So, oh, you can see. You see that's like sort of steam coming up from them. So they're trying to breed and they can't because they don't have enough beds and workstations. So that's what villages ultimately are based around. Beds and workstations no longer need any doors. They're not based around doors at all. It's how many beds you got and how many workstations you got. And trust me, I put all these beds in here and they still would not breed because I only had a few workstations. You need the workstations. These are really cheap to make. The farmer ones are just, 4 fence posts and 3 planks of wood. So, yeah. Also, I will insert a little video. There's no me talking over it, but I met a traveling villager, which was really fun. He doesn't really have a lot that you want to buy, except he did have, the second time he came around, second time he spawned, he had some jungle saplings. Now, I've not found a jungle... Ooh, oh, wow, that was bad. I've not found a jungle biome on this server at all. It did not want to go up here, did it? A jungle biome on this server at all. So I'm really happy now to have jungle saplings that I can get more saplings from in jungle wood, because jungle wood looks awesome, and the stripped jungle wood looks amazing. So I'm really glad about that. That's a really interesting feature. And at night he drinks a potion and goes invisible, and you've got 2 llamas with him who spit and moan at you. It's fantastic. Love it. So here's the video.
Huh? Huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Huh? Uh-huh. Huh? Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was a good fun to meet. He went in my storage system for a while. So they do despawn after about like 40 minutes to an hour or something like that. But I think if you leave the area, they will stay here until you come back. But they will still eventually disappear after being there for about 40 minutes and that. And the other thing I want to say, unfortunately, I don't have footage of this, but I have had a couple of illager raids, and they're really cool. So because at the time, the only valid village I had, because it's the only place that had beds, I did not know, is these 2. So the illagers, they came out of here and they came down here. I was coming out of my storage system and I just saw them flying down here. There must have been about 10 of them, maybe, or something like that, or maybe about a dozen of them. There was a bannerman, so I've got a couple of flags now from them, which is really cool. I've kept them, and they've all got crossbows. And they came out here and they went on the roofs here, and they went. So if I go down here, they went on the roofs. They went like behind the pillars. They went over here. And it looked really, really cool. It kind of looked like a western shootout. You know, I came into my village here, and they were just everywhere. So we got the bows and arrows out, and we were shooting each other. Really good fun. Really, really good fun. I had another one earlier where they came down here, and they sort of stopped here. And I pushed my luck because you can get very close to them before they decide to attack you. But once they decide to attack you, they come at you then, all of them at once. That's really fun. I hopefully will get that on camera at some point. But it seems to happen fairly regularly enough, especially because I'm the only one on the server most of the time. So that's the good points. The good points. Bad points is, and I am gonna say, usually I cut things like game developers slack because you know, a new expansion, and this is like a new expansion. It's 1.14. It's the Illager and Pillager. And it's just like, there's going to be bugs. Of course there's going to be bugs. There's going to be the odd thing missing, the odd block missing. There's going to be the odd, you know, it's going to be a bit laggy maybe. But the thing I will not forgive, because it is so old, it's such an old bug, is the lighting bug. And it's really caused me a lot of issues today. I'm very wary about going in here. So that's why there's torches on the ground. Ugly, horrible torches that I thought I got away from. Every time I unload these chunks and load them again, it is pitch black in here. And it's not just that, well, you're not seeing the light, but the light levels are there. No, the light level is 0. Except right on top of the glowstone. The light level is absolutely 0. And that's a real issue, because when I came in earlier, there were 4 creepers. and I had to kill them before they blew up and just destroyed everything. And this is sandstone. This is just gonna, yeah, they could really wreck the place, and I don't forgive it because like I said, the lighting bug is such an old bug that every time they make a new update, you know, someone over at Mojang needs to go, wait, let's test the lights, because there's always a lighting bug. Let's test the lights, and they're not doing that, and that is pretty unforgivable that they're not doing that. Going in here, yeah, still have it. You can see there's lighting issues here, but actually about 30 to 50% of this place is actually pitch black when I come back in. And there are zombies, and there's everything. There's basically zombies and creepers and skeletons and everything in the corners everywhere. I have to keep clearing them out, and then you have to keep like running around and doing this and like, oh, okay, I'll put this. Oh, I'll put this down. I'll get rid of it. You see, look, the lighting bug. Boom. See how it's not going back to being as dark as it was. It's very irritating. It's very tiring and tedious. Look, shouldn't be there. It's tedious and it's very irritating, and it's just unnecessary. So that's my biggest gripe. Very big gripe. I'm very annoyed. So yeah, I've got more of that cooking. As soon as that's cooked, I'm going to build a second one, because the second one should be a lot faster and a lot easier to build, because I built one already. And you know, once you've built one, you'll always build a lot faster after that. I know my design, I know. So yeah, a bit of a talky episode for this one, but there's not a lot else for me to do at the moment. I need to read up about a few more mechanics and things like that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the expansion so far. I really like it. It's a bit laggy. Can't wait for Optifine to come out. Oh, okay, here we are. Can't wait for Optifine to come out with their Optifine 1.14, because anything interesting? No, okay. Because once they do, there used to be a lot of villagers here, and now there's none. So either it's been raided, or the husks have come and killed everyone. Because when I'm over it there, you can see that this place is like partially loaded. Yeah, yeah. By the way, I'm definitely building with this glass. Look at this glass. It's so clear. It's beautifully clear. Yeah, there's no villagers over here. I may drag some of my spare ones and repopulate this place. I think that'll be fun to kind of do this village up. I might actually do this village up as like a fun project at some point, and import some villagers into here, maybe put some walls up and some lighting up, if the lighting glitch is ever fixed, because last time it took them about 6 months to fix it. So yeah. Oh look, this works so well. I'm so happy with it though. This is the thing I'm really happy with. It took me a couple of hours to make, very casually. Look at that horrible lighting, but yeah, look at this. Just look at this. Just while we're talking, we've had over half a stack, or about half, yeah, over half a stack, while I've just been talking on here for the last few minutes. Oh wow, I didn't realise the time. So I think we need to end this episode. So that's my kind of thoughts on 1.14. Really good, really fun, really interesting mechanics. Really worth looking into. Really fun to try and find exploits, and try and find the most efficient ways to do things. But unfortunately, the lighting glitch is the biggest issue. It's really irritating. Also, every time I go through a nether portal, I get disconnected, and then I have to reconnect, and then the nether portal sometimes isn't on, and sometimes there's blocks missing. This game has been out for like 10 years or over 10 years now. These things should not happen, and it's owned by Microsoft now, so these things really should be tested and phased out before they roll out any kind of update. So come on, Mojang, that's kind of unforgivable. But I do want to say thank you very much for watching. A bit of a talky episode, a bit of a ranty episode at the end there. We will get back to normal next episode. I know it's been 2 episodes on iron farms. I promise we're not doing another iron farm next episode. There's a couple of things that I really want to do, but I might need to gather some resources for. But thank you very much for watching. I really enjoyed this. I'm really happy with how the iron farm's going, and obviously the villagers and their mechanics. So, as usual, if you did like this video, please do leave a like, and please subscribe if you want to see more and all those. Check out that video down below. He's really good. He's really clear, and you can build yourself your own iron farm. But until next time, thank you very much, folks, and goodbye.